Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, this is going to be a video about basically the best or maybe a top 2 rare in this game. There's only a few that I would absolutely max out and use throughout tons of different areas in the game. Cold Heart is one of those. I did a video on her not that long ago, but today we're going to focus on Apothecary. I did a video maybe a week and a half ago where I was talking about the rares that I would take to level 60. Apothecary is like right up there as probably the most desirable outside of Cold Heart rare that I could pull on any account. So this is going to be a guide for Apothecary 2022. Okay, so I'm going to jump on the free-to-play account and show you why he is so damn good. He literally features in nearly all of my teams. And we're talking about an account now which is 190 odd days old. I've got plenty of gold sparkling around the account, loads of epics that are still to kind of be leveled out. And still, he is a solid part of most of my teams. And you know, Apothecary, for me, is kind of the rare to get. And if you can get him early, it's a game changer. It really is. Even though you get another champion, High Katoon, who is a similar style of champion as a freebie on day 30, Apothecary, for me, is tons stronger. Just way more versatile, way more useful in general content in this game. So let's walk through what he does. Why is he so good? I mean, he's looking pretty damn serious. Pretty damn serious with that appearance. But he's got an A1. So the A1 being a triple hit is actually pretty solid. It means that he becomes super relevant for Fire Knight. Yeah, triple hit. Breaking down that shield is really nice. Also, you can throw Giant Slayer on him and he gets some nice damage away when he's getting Giant Slayer procs with his A1 somewhere like Clan Boss or general boss fights. So the triple hit on the A1 is kind of nice. The fact that it's at random, I mean, he's a rare. You know what? He's not known for damage. He doesn't do damage, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's just is what it is. The A2, on a 2-turn cooldown when booked, is one of the best heals in the game. It's one of the best in the game. And it can be a crit heal. It's actually nuts. This is actually a nuts A2 for a rare. 2-turn cooldown, massive heal. Pretty much, if you put him with crit rate, will heal someone to full. And he gets a bit of extra bonus down here. And it's just such a massive ability. And then his A3 is even better. So his A3, increased speed buff across your team and a 15% turn meter fill. This is just keeping your team moving. And basically, this game is about speed and then control. If you get those two things away, the damage will come. So being able to keep your team moving fast, it opens up different type of comps for stuff like Clan Boss, which you'll see later in this video. It just means that your team will get more turns compared to the enemy team, which is what you need in order to beat most of the content in the game. So all of these abilities, they just kind of like smooth together really nicely for a support-based champ. Then he's got a nice dungeons aura as well, and you will be using them in most of your dungeons, especially early game. In fact, right through to late game. Like in late game, unless you get yourself a Lysandra, there's not that many champions that would still come into your teams unless you start going like super end game and you've just got a stack of crazy champs. In terms of Masteries, this is how I've got him set up on the free-to-play account. Just move me for a second. Which is a pretty good standard setup. So bringing in the crit rate for that heal, coming down on like basically a Clan Boss style setup, ending with Giant Slayer for the damage off of the A1. And then taking Steadfast means that he's not going to be as likely to be stunned on my Clan Boss runs. Basically, if you've got an even footing for Clan Boss, everyone's got the same buffs, everyone's kind of topped up on health. If someone's got Steadfast, a Clan Boss ignores that champion. So that's really important for me because he's part of my comp which run quickly on Clan Boss. Also gives me a lot of extra health, and I need him to be a tank. We'll get onto his build in a sec. I've got extra healing here from Lay on Hands. You could come straight down here and gain more healing. I gained literally 0 from Swarm Smiter, but I wanted Laura's Steel. Laura's Steel would give me more speed from my speed sets. You might want to take Evil Eye on him, but just beware that if you take Evil Eye, you don't want to be using him against Bommel or Griffin because you'll proc a load of nasty stuff. You might not use him against those two anyway, actually, but that's why that is genuinely a good mastery to take, especially that he's got that 3-hit A1 random hit. Means you get 3 A1s against random people. It might be that that's actually a better one to take. Okay, in terms of his build, now look, he needs to be fast. Yeah, he's a speed champion. He's about rotating through your abilities of other champions. He's not your damage. He sets up your damage. So you want him to be fast. That's the kind of #1 stat. Now, because none of his skills need accuracy, it's so good. It means that you can just pump up additional defensive stats and speed. So actually, what I'm looking for is a good level of defense. Probably like 3.5k would be nice. A good level of health, because I need him to stay alive. And then speed. If I can get crit rate into his build after that, that's like the next thing that I would like. You know, I'd love to be wearing crit rate gloves, but I need the speed as well. So I've gone defense on the ring, defense on the amulet, defense on the banner. Gives me a really solid layer of kind of base defense. He's got good base defense and good base HP stats anyway. And then we've got defense % on the gloves. HP. Now, this would be way better if it was HP %. But I don't have one yet on this account. But HP % or more defense % on the chest. And then speed on your boots. And you're looking for substats of defensive stats. So HP %, defense %, crit rate, and speed. They're like 4 magic substats for this guy. So generally, I'm looking for double rolls in speed. And then I want to find defensive stats aside from that. And crit rates. One of the things I should be calling out now, we're in 2022. Things have changed. Yeah, since I did my last guide on Apothecary 2 years ago. Can you believe it? My last time I did a showcase on Apothecary, 2 years. We've now got a Guardian Ring. Okay, and Guardian Ring can empower your champions. Your champions in terms of their stats. So what you should be doing, I still need to do 2 more. Have I done them yet? No, I need 1 more. You should be filling up your rare high elf guardians. Go in and farm in this lovely lass from the campaign and fill up your guardians. More HP, more attack, more resistance, more defense, and then importantly, more speed. Yeah, so all of these stats, apart from accuracy, will benefit an Apothecary. But mainly the 2 defensive ones and the speed are what you're looking for. So absolutely go out to campaign. Get yourself into the speed campaign section, Palace of Arabia. And, you know, you should be spending, if you're early game, you should be spending some time farming here anyway. And if you're mid game, you can still pick up some nice bits. But get yourself here. If you fight the boss, you've got a chance to get rare drops anyway. Rare drops, which might give you a double roll in speed. Never know. You can get lucky. Awesome 5-star speed boots. If you fight nightmare level, you can get 6-star speed boots, by the way. So anyone who's saying I can't get any speed boots, that's where you want to be. But you kill this boss and you get a chance of a rare to drop. And if it's that rare, perfect. It would just fill up my faction guardians and I'll be back up to an extra 3 speed. It's not a ton, but if Apothecary is a main part of a lot of your teams, which you'll see later he is, then you should absolutely go and get that done. I'll show you where I use him on the free-to-play. And honestly, you know, talking about, you know, 190 days in, we're talking, what's that, like 8 months or something? We're playing this account. He still plays basically everywhere. Basically in every single team that I run. So he's in my arena team and has been since like day 7. Basically, I've got a speed aura in the front. Apothecary is then my fastest champion. So Apothecary gets the team moving. And then I get my drop defense out. I get my nuke away. And then I get some control in case I've not killed everyone. And then basically we rotate through. I've got a weak affinity here to their reviver, which is a bit of a nightmare. But the other thing you'll find with Apothecary, for arena specifically, is he's actually a really good defensive unit. Because he's so annoying. Like, he can just out-heal a lot of damage coming at him. So if he's literally one-on-one with someone, there's plenty of times where he just absolutely won't die. So, good arena champion. Like, he's similar to High Cartoon in the arena, honestly. So, High Cartoon could be your lead and your speed boost. He's mainly in there for the speed boost for the arena. It's not his best place, but he is solid there. You can just see it's just basically moving there as a turn meter fill type of champion. Definitely would find a space in a 3v3 team a bit later down the line. Faction Wars, he's helped me clear Faction Wars on High Elves. So him, alongside Arbiter and Nutatura, basically were the core of that team. So he's absolutely great there. But let me show you him in Clan Boss, and then we'll get into some of the dungeons. So Clan Boss, I've got him set up in a 2-for-1 comp. What that means is I'm able to push my team to run 2 turns for every time the Clan Boss gets a turn. I'll show you the team quick. So we came into this Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss team. I did a video on this like a week ago. It's called Tutora Rhymehide versus Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. And he's a big part of this team. Without him, this team couldn't take place. So he has got, he's running at 306 speed. I've got Deacon in there as well at 242. I've then got Geo 177 speed, Venomage 206, and Tutora Rhymehide at 203 speed. And basically what's going on here is Apothecary's speed boost alongside Deacon's turn meter fill is enabling me to hit 2 times for every time the Clan Boss takes a hit. And it just pushes your damage up through the roof. Imagine it. Everybody's getting 2 lots of their abilities away for full rotations of Clan Boss. It means that you can keep things like decrease attack on all the time. Venomage, decrease attack. Venomage, decrease attack. Decrease attack. Yeah, so someone that shouldn't be able to keep decrease attack on the whole time is up. We're rotating through abilities so damn fast that we've always got the burn up. We've always got the decreased defense up. We've got poisons flowing through as well. It's a pretty obscene team, really, considering we've got no counter-attacker or no unkillable setup. This is the next best thing. If you cannot achieve either of those two, then 2-for-1 speed teams is the best way to go. And let me show you. So I'm 3-keying Ultra Nightmare every single day. Since I put this team in place, I've 3-keyed Ultra Nightmare every single day. And then I was so close to 1-keying Nightmare as well today. So it's the first time I've thrown an extra key into Nightmare. So close to getting it. I was at like 37 mil. So I think with the right affinity, it would be a 1-key Nightmare as well, or with a slight tweak. But that is basically where you want to get to. Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss is the ultimate kind of ability to gain shards. You saw there, I've got a Void Shard and another Shard. It's the ultimate in terms of getting the right rewards for your accounts. And the setup for this is so damn easy. Literally just A1 here. I use my main abilities on everyone else. A1 with my Tutora. And then I get one more A1 out of Apothecary here. And then we are full auto. And that's it. I don't need to touch it again. It will run so clean. And it basically pulls in somewhere between 25 and 30 mil on Ultra Nightmare every hit. So I'm going to play this through. I'll show you the result at the end. One thing to say with Apothecary here. So he's built tanky. And this is one of the reasons why he is built tanky. He needs to be able to sustain damage. What he's bringing to your Clan Boss team is those Giant Slayer procs. So he gets a bit of damage away. But mainly he's in there for the heal and the turn meter fill. So if you think about Clan Boss, what you're trying to do is last as long as you can and put as much sustained damage out as you can. My damage here is Geomancer Burn and Poison. And those two things require time. So I want this turn count to go over 25. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. Without Apothecary's spot heals, I wouldn't get there. And honestly, if I had better gear, I would get his crit rate right up, like 100% if I could, because I want those crit heals to be popping off to get people back from low health to full health when we get towards the end of the run. So I'm going to let this play through, and then I will show you the result. So look, here we go. 25.4 is actually at the lower end of my kind of damage spectrum, but it's fine. 25 mil secures us very comfortable free key. We lasted to turn 31. So as I said, like past turn 25, this Clan Boss is hitting really hard. And you can kind of see the spread of damage here. So Apothecary holds his own for damage, considering everything else that he's doing. My main damage dealer, 7.7. Venomage, my secondary damage dealer, 6.6. We still get a 3.5 mil from Apothecary. So that Giant Slayer proc is actually doing a lot of work, considering it's kind of like least used ability in the run. But there you go. Clan Boss is absolutely solid, especially in that 2-for-1 setup. As soon as you can build an unkillable team or a Probably with a counter-attack team, maybe you would take him out. But for that sort of setup, he's up there as just one of the better champions to have in your team. Let me show you through some dungeon runs. So the best dungeon for me that you would hold him into right through to endgame is Finite. He slips into my Finite team here. He is the negative affinity for Finite 20, which is what I'm farming. And pretty much what I've got here is 2 turn meter control champions, someone who can do AoE control for the waves, turn meter and decreased defense, and then healing, and basically my tank. So Apothecary will tank up hits if need be. Against some of these really hard hitters, it's good actually sometimes to have the negative affinity champion in the run to tank. So I've got Seal and Apothecary here. Just means that my Cold Heart and anyone else that I've got for damage is not going to be under too much threat. Seal's my primary tank. Apothecary will heal the Seal. And also, if he takes damage, he can tank it as well. So between the two of them, they tank up damage really well. It leaves the rest of my team time and effort to do what they need to do. And you can see I've just basically got control from Seal, even though she's negative affinity. Doesn't matter. She's super good as well for a free champion. Like, really good. And between her and Apothecary, they just keep the team healed up and running quick. So the increased speed and turn meter just gives me loads of time to get my abilities away. Even if I'm on kind of poor rotation of abilities and I'm waiting for that stun to come back, because of the amount of turn meter I've got going on here, I get back to those abilities before it's too dangerous, before I'm kind of like getting put in the dirt. You can see actually, I mean, I've had 2 people drop Seal's turn meter down to 0 before any stuns have gone away. We've had 1 stun in the whole of wave 2, which is a nightmare. It's like, this is worst case scenario for me right now. But still, nobody's come even remotely low because of the amount of turn meter fill I've got going on. And then when we get to the actual boss, these two are tanky as hell, by the way. When we get to the actual boss, it's just then all about, can I keep his shield down? Can I get his shield down first, and then can I keep it down? And Apothecary also really helps for that. He helps for it with a triple hit A1. Spoke about it earlier. It's massive. You really need those multi-hit A1s to get the job done on Finite. So we get his shield down nice and quick. Triple hit, bam. Then I have a 4-hit coming in from Cold Heart, bam. And the shield is down. Now I've got to keep it down, so I've got to be quick enough to rotate through my abilities. I want Seal to land an A1 decreased speed here. And then I've got Armor Gut and Cold Heart doing turn meter control. Still haven't landed that decreased speed yet. And then really at this point, Apothecary is just in there for turn meter fill and A1s. So I don't need any healing. I'm keeping his shield down the whole time, so I don't need any healing at this point. If he did get a turn, the heal would come in pretty damn clutch. But it's just about, can I get some Giant Slayer procs off? And are we moving quick enough to stop this guy doing what he wants to do? Because really, Finite, as soon as his shield starts coming back up consistently, you're in a bit of problem. You're in a bit of trouble. But this team is a 100% team. I will ping down below a link to my free-to-play champs. So you can literally go in there and see any of the builds you want to see. But you can see here, 100% team, Finite 20 with 2 negative affinities. Apothecary here is not doing any damage. He's just setting everybody else up to do their job. So he's in my Finite 20 team. Spider 20. Guess who's there? He's in there as a lead. We've got increased defense in dungeons, lead aura. He's in there on my 100% Spider team. So in this one, Geo's my tank. Apothecary's got us moving quick. I've got control from Seal. I've got decreased defense and attack from Duke. And then I've got turn meter control from Geo and from Apothecary. And this, again, is a 100% team. And Apothecary's big in this. Like, I've tried it with other champions to see if I can speed it up. I don't speed it up. I get losses. He's so big because he just keeps us going quickly. And he also brings this massive heal for my tank if I need it. So I do have my tank in lifesteal gear. He's got an AoE A1, so he heals a lot himself. But if he gets low and it's looking dodgy, Apothecary will just throw out a spot heal and top him back up to full. And that heal, you know, as I say, if I had better crit onto his build, it would be even stronger. And it just means that we've got a really good chance of not losing our tank. Seal's in there as my backup. If I do lose the tank, she comes in, revives him anyway. Spot heal there, 25k heal. How you feeling? And bam. It just makes sure that this run becomes a 100% team, which is what you want. When you're investing your energy into teams like this, you want it to be always a 100% team. There we go. AoE stun just gives us a bit of respite from the spiderlings here. We get the turn meter control again. And at this point, I'm just waiting for spiderlings to hit Geo, which gives good chunks of damage. See that? 160k damage. And then I'm waiting for a Heart Seeker from Cold Heart. Cold Heart could easily be Armiger here. Same champion, basically. He just does his big hit more often. So it could be exactly the same result if this was an Armiger. And Duke, honestly, could be Stag Knight, could be Tyrell, could be a bunch of others. So it's definitely not like you require these. A good replacement for Geo here would actually be Drex. Drexar that you get from the Bazaar. But I've got this all kind of tuned. Never loses. And that is Spider done. So, again, he doesn't do any damage here. He's spot healing and he is just keeping the team moving quick. Let me show you in Dragon and then Ice Golem as well. So he comes in on Dragon as a neutral affinity. Guess where he is? In the leader spot. I think he's my only lead option in this team. And basically here, we've got the same type of idea. We've got drop defense and attack coming from Duke. In this one, I've got wave damage coming from Ninja, Seal, and Venomage. Venomage doing AoE poison. Her poison is going to help us for the actual dragon fight as well. And then Apothecary, what's he doing? He's just making sure the enemy don't get a turn, basically, because he gets us moving so damn quick. And he will just pump out his A1s on the boss. And again, it's so easy. We don't take any hits at all. So this is like I guess it's a reasonable speed run. It's not super fast, but it's a reasonable speed run. And this is kind of like that stage before you're absolutely trying to crank out speed runs and pushing up to stage 24, 25. He just becomes an absolute solid part of any setup. Again, these can all be replaced. Kale could be here for the poison. It could be Frozen Banshee for the poison. A whole bunch of options. Duke could be replaced by any of the decreased defense champions, really, the AoEs. Ninja's in here doing a bit of work, actually, on the boss and control. But Ninja could be replaced with a Kale or anyone, really. It's and Seal's doing a good job of controlling waves for us. So, again, a Nullhorn here will do the same job that Seal is doing without too much trouble. But you can see this is going to end up being like normally between a minute 30 and a minute 50 run. 100% team. When you get to this point, you do start taking chunks of damage. So Apothecary spot heal will just get you into a good place if you need it. And you'll smooth through Dragon. No problem at all. Just such a versatile champion. Literally just comes into any area of the game. I'm not going to show you a full Ice Golem team run. But again, if you actually look here, he does a decent amount of damage, by the way. 400k. Ice Golem run. He doesn't sit in my main team for 20. But he could easily just slot in where Ninja is here, or where Geo is here, or like any of these champions, probably apart from Duke, could be Apothecary. And he could go into your lead and give you that defense aura again. So any of the main dungeons, he is just absolutely solid for. Arena, clan boss. And one of the other areas, and one of the reasons why he's become so good again, is that he just fits into a whole load of Doom Tower teams. My main Magma Dragon team, he's in there. And actually a big part of it as well, because that spot heal is really important. So against Magma Dragon, when you know you're going to be taking damage, him coming in there and just kind of healing up the person that's going to be doing your provokes is super solid. You can't turn me to control this dragon. So, people like Seal have less value here. Still not bad, but they have less value. So someone that's just keeping you moving quickly whilst the rest of your team are getting their damage away becomes really, really valuable. And that's all he's going to do here. He's going to A1 and get some Giant Slayer procs off if he can. We've got two champions in the team that could provoke. Master Butcher and Duke. He's taking damage here as the kind of initial threat. he's so tanky that he can tank up some good amounts of damage. And then once the provokes go out, the damage switches to the provoke champion, and he's just going to spot heal them, and basically 100% team. It's an easy team. Now, whether this team translates to whatever it is, 70 hard or 100 hard, whatever this one is, I don't know. I've not got there, but you know, he does the same job really, and his gear would scale the same, so I can't see why it wouldn't. He's also, I mean, he's fundamental in my Soraf team in terms of keeping that team moving quickly and pushing it through and healing where I need it. He's fundamental in my Scarab Boss team for the same reason. Scarab Boss is all about turn meter fill, turn meter control. So as long as you've got your team moving quickly enough and you're rotating back through your turn meter control champions, then you'll have no problem against the Scarab Boss as well. The only thing I would change here, so my Dalcut's in a shield set. If I was going against a higher level Scarab Boss, I would need a shield champion like a Metal Shaper in here. But I can do it so easily anyway without him that I don't have him in. But Apothecary comes in big in Doom Tower in a lot of areas. The only place where you don't really want to run him is somewhere like a Griffin. If you fill your whole team's turn meter against Griffin, then Griffin's going to just gain loads of its stacks. Albeit, if you turn off the turn meter fill, it still gives you a solid A1 and a heal. So it still comes into, you know, like kind of like early to mid game Griffin team as well. Like pretty much any Doom Tower team, he's in it. So look, Apothecary still a top 3, maybe top. I can't say the best because Cold Heart's probably the best champion in terms of a rare, but for me, he's top 2. He's top 2, and you just want to build him fast, tanky, with some crit if you can, and he is going to absolutely shine for your team. There you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades. That is Apothecary 2022. I will see you later.